Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Graybeard Garage. My name is Matt, and today we're working on this Craftsman Speed Start powered head for the Craftsman line, where you could put in your different attachments here for this. So I actually found this in the garbage on the side of the road. I am a notorious garbage picker, I will readily admit it, but when I see something interesting, I'm going to grab it out of the trash. That's just what I do. But anyway, guys, you'll see here what we do to get this thing running. I will say it is running right now, but I forgot to do this intro. So I just wanted to do the intro here, introduce you to this, and then you guys get to see through the rest of the video what we did to get this running. So guys, come along for the journey. Let's go. Alright guys, so I'm going to try and do my best here to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. I find that I struggle with making sure that you guys are seeing exactly what I'm doing here, but we want to pull this off if we can. And I think it just pops off like this. Yep. And then we'll pull the air filter out. Oops. And then we'll drop it in a bucket. It doesn't look too bad in there. We're going to pull this off, our cover off here. So let's go ahead and get a screwdriver for that. And so this has got like a torque, or you can use a slotted screwdriver. So I happen to have the slotted screwdriver in here. So we'll go ahead and pull this off. Alright, we'll get them one at a time, I guess, right? Oh, I bet you these hold the carburetor in too. Yep, they sure do. Alright, well that's no problem. Alright, so let's get this one out. Crap. Well, that's fine. Just take that off. That'll pop right off. So the gasket still looks pretty good. This is really filthy. So I think I'll get the carb cleaner out and we'll just spray this off and kind of clean it out a little bit. And we'll cover that up there and clean over that. So we go grab some carb cleaner, we'll be right back. Alright, so we took a piece of paper towel and just kind of rolled it up and stuck it in there to kind of protect that intake. We don't want dirt going inside of our engine. So we'll go ahead and just clean this up a little bit. Clean this carb up a little bit. No, that must be for the... That must be for that. See if we can get this cleaned up a little more. Alright, that looks pretty good now. Let's go ahead and dry that off a little bit. know what? I'm going to spray this tank off too. There we go. Alright, so this tube for the intake for the gasoline is still really nice and pliable. So I'm not going to mess with that. But what I do need to do is get a tube on here, which is our return line into the tank. So when you pump here, it pulls the fuel up into the carb and returns it back to the tank. So we do need to get a tube on there for that. So we will figure out what size we need here, and then we'll go ahead and get that put in also. And that does not require a filter, so I don't think we need a filter. So let's see here if we can get that kind of cleaned off. Perfect. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's clean the space off here. Alright. Now I'm going to get a piece of this tubing here and see if this is adequate. Let's see if we can clean that off a little bit. And we don't put a filthy tube in there. Let's see if this is the right size line. Yep. So that alignment will work great. So what we're going to do is take our cap off the fuel tank. And what I like to do with these is I like to cut kind of an angle on that. Let me see if I got some scissors out here, or a knife or something. I did have something out here to cut. Oh, let's see. Well, I thought I had a razor knife out here. Apparently not. Well, this will work. So we'll just take this here and we'll kind of put this at an angle. There we go. Look at that. Nice and clean. So this is what I meant by an angle, guys. So do you see how that's kind of cut off like that? That's what we're going to use to feed this into our tank. And that usually does work the best for this application. What I'm going to use is some small needle nose pliers. And hopefully we can grab the tail. Let's see if we can get you over here to this. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but right there is our tube. So we're going to grab that. And see what we've done is we've pulled it through. So now we should be able just to pull the rest through, or pull the rest through. And we just kind of want to leave I don't know, it doesn't need a lot because it's just a return tube. So well, we'll leave about that much inside the tank. So we'll slide that back in there. Maybe. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. That's the gasket for our gas cap. So let's put that back on the gas cap. And then let's clean this off a little bit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just kind of put this carb back up in place, which was like this. And then we just need to make sure we got enough tubing here. Uh-oh. Huh. Still need something to cut. Problem solved. 10 snips. Alright. So now we can take our line and we can stick it on the return. Perfect. Now we got all that set up. This is nice and dry. So now we can go ahead and reassemble this. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh, where's this thing? I'm not sure where that fell off of. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna have to go back and look and see where that fell off from. Okay, so I knew that would be way too easy. So the choke for this actually is right here, and it's snapped off. So there's no way to go from choke to run. Nice thing is the carburetors are super cheap, so it's like 16 bucks, 17 bucks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on Amazon and we'll go buy one. So I'm just going to pop these lines off and then we'll go from there. All right. Easy enough. All right, guys, so let me go order that part and then we'll have to come back here and get on this thing again. Alright guys, so here we are, next day or whatever. We ordered our parts from Amazon, and just show you real quick here. So this is the original, this is the replacement. So as you can see, what would be the choke here is broken off here, as well as the stop is broken off here also. So we'll replace the old one with the new one. So this is a pretty straightforward deal. They did give us a new gasket, actually 2 gaskets here. And so we'll get you brought over here so you can see this a little better. Alright, so this, remember, this one is our input into the carburetor, and this is our return, which is that new tube that we put in the other day. So let's go ahead and put that on. Alright, so we've got that on, so let's see if you can see that. Okay, so this has the gasket right here, so that's just going to go against here, just like this, and then this side of the carburetor gets the gasket that goes against this intake for the air filter. So let's open this up, take a look at these two. So they do give us 2 gaskets. And you can see, let's see here. So you can see this one's got the hole in the center. And this one is up by the screw hole. And this is the one we need right here. So we'll take that, and as you can see, it's going to line up real nice. Just like that. It actually covers that hole. Actually, let's see. Nope. Actually, I might be telling you the wrong thing here. Yep, there we go. That's how we want it. So it's going to go together just like this. Okay. And then we can take our filter cover, and we'll put that on here with these two screws. Alright guys, so my wife walked in behind me and scared the bejesus out of me. So what we need to do here now is I'm going to go ahead and get this connected back here, which is our throttle cable. And I have yet to figure out where this darn thing fell off of. It doesn't fit over the throttle cable. Oh, that's what it fell out of. Haha. So see, we have a metal piece here. It fell out here. So that's what that is. Ta-da! I figured it out. Sometimes you just gotta stop to think. Alright. So that's good. Figured that part out. So now we're gonna go ahead, now that we've got our throttle cable back on, we can actually, I'm gonna clean this thing out real quick off camera. Alright, so I took this out and sprayed it down with some carb cleaner just to try and clean it out a little bit. I mean, it's cleaner than it was. It's not perfect, but it really doesn't need to be honest. So this is right side up. We're going to take our gasket, just like that, and then I'm going to take my screws and we're going to put them through here, just like this, and then I'm going to put the gasket in there too. Let's just double check that. Alright, and that gasket is going to go on here, just like that. Little seat in there. Okay. Now we can take our carburetor. We can put our screws through our carburetor, just like this. Okay. I'm going to pull a little slack out here. Perfect. That's not good. Do I have this backwards? It's possible. Yep, you know what? I sure do. That was stupid. Alright, my bad. So sometimes it helps to double check these things, which means my gasket is wrong also. Alright, so here we go. That's correct. Sorry about that. Alright, so we got our gasket back on. I mean, you would kind of figure out it's wrong anyway because you can't adjust the choke. So, when you have to be able to flip it. Alright, so now just get our screwdriver. I'm trying to run these home a little bit. Snug it up. Tighten this other one up. Don't go crazy on these things because, I mean, you're screwing into plastic. So you can't go too nuts. You just want to torque them up a little bit. Alright. Let me make sure you guys can still see that. Yep, perfect. So now we can flip our choke all the way over. my throttle cable fell out. So let's fix that problem. There we go. Okay. So you pull your choke over, do your pulls after you do your primer. This also came with a new spark plug, so we're going to change that out also. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this out of here. Maybe. Take the screwdriver and pry that out. There we go. Alright, so we got that out. Let's see. I think I have that in here. Yep, we sure do. Oh yeah, way too big. So here we go. So you guys, this is a nice little set. I got this last year during Christmas time. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and pull this off. Alright, man, that thing was on there good. Whoop. Well, where'd that go? There it is. So you can see this thing has got a lot of nice carbon buildup on it. Alright, so that's out. Let's get our new one here. So this kit from Amazon came with everything. Look at that. It's 2 different size sockets that we're going to need here, because I use the larger size. I don't even know if I can get my... Well, I guess we'll see. Because the first one was a 5/8, and this one is, I think, a 13/16. No, it is not. It is not that one. And I don't think I have the right size. Let's see. 11/16. It's a deep socket. Bet you this is metric. Just got a bug in the face. Yeah, I bet you that's metric. Wow. 19mm. Alright. Sorry, I got my big old probably head in the way here, so just running this down by hand first, get those first couple threads to catch, and then we can take our 19mm, hopefully. Man, they did not make that easy. Wow. So you can't get the 19mm to go down in there. Plastic is just too big. I'm catching it a little bit, so let's see if we can catch it enough to kind of tighten it up. There we go. I actually pushed it through. Alright, there we go.
snugged up nice and tight. Go ahead and get our spark plug wire to sit back down on that. Alright, there we go. Alright, we are fully reassembled now. Go get some fuel. See if we get this thing to fire up. Also, where is it? Here's our air filter. I'm just gonna put this back in because it doesn't look too terrible. Put that on. And we'll put our cover back on. Okay, now I'm gonna go get some fuel. We'll fill this up and we'll fire it up. Okay guys, so the old fuel line has shrunk and it's actually leaking. So we're gonna fire this up real quick just to make sure it runs. Then we'll dump this fuel out and then we will we'll replace that fuel line too. Alright, so we're getting fuel up in the bulb. It's not great because we got leaks going on here. So let's try and see if we can get this thing to fire up. Awesome, so it works great. I am going to change this fuel line right now though. So let's dump this fuel. Okay, so I'm happy that the fuel worked very well. Or not the fuel, but the let's go ahead. I think we can do this without taking all that apart again. So we got our line off. See if we can, you know what, I think I might just cut it off. And then we'll fish it out. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can fish the rest of it out. Alright, so it's probably a good idea that we did this. This thing is nasty. Alright, good. So, goodbye. Now we'll take some new line here that we were supplied. And then we're going to do the same thing we did previously. We're going to cut that at an angle. Okay. And then I'm going to try not to have my big head in the way. Boy, I should have just done this to start, huh? Hindsight. Well, you know what? It's not like it's hard. Let's just pop this stuff off again real quick. What does it take? An extra 2 minutes? It saved me a headache of doing it the other way. Alright. Alright, so our gasket stayed on, which is fine. Great. Now we can actually get in here. And we can fish this down into here. Get that out of the way. So I'm going to actually try and cut this a little more. to make it even more of like a finer point. Without cutting my fingers, if I can. So let's see if we can do that. That totally did not work. Let's try that again. Alright. Let's see if that works better. So we're going to do a little poke through. Yeah, oh yeah, that was much better. Let's bring it over here so you can see that again. So, let's see. If you look down in there, you'll see it poking through. Let's get our little needle nose here. We can grab that. And I want to grab enough of this so it'll go all the way down to the back. Now let's set this down and put our filter on. Sorry guys, I know that's got you bouncing around. Alright, so this did come with a new filter somewhere right here. So we do have a new filter, and I want to cut this hose off flat. There we go. Just push our line on. Alright, that's all the way on. And now we can shove this down in there. I'm just going to pull that through a little bit more. There we go. That's settled down to the bottom nicely. So now we're going to take this here. We're just going to measure off. Give ourselves a little extra. Okay, now let's go ahead and put this on. Oh yeah, that is such a better fit. Should have done that to start with. Alright guys, so same thing we did before. We're just going to take the screws. Got them run through here. Just thread them back in. Again, we don't need to go crazy. Oh shoot. And this is what happens when you rush. You do things wrong. And backwards. Alright. So now, let's do that the right way. And let's get this on here. Again, you don't need to go crazy torquing these things down. Alright, those are good. Put our filter back in. Put our housing, our filter cover back on. Click that back into place. We're going to refuel this, fire it back up, and she should run a little better now. There's not as much of a leak in there. So, let me get some fuel. Alright guys, so we've got her back here again. Take our choke, flip it all the way over, We do have fuel in the bulb, but I'm going to give it a couple pumps so we can get it to come through the line, because we replaced that line. There's no more fuel spilling out. That's fantastic. So let's go ahead and fire this up again. Good. So here we go. Well, let's go choke. All right. No, that's not good. Well, we do know it runs. I think I may have flooded it. So, and I pulled the throttle cable off. So guys, we do know it works and it runs. I think I flooded it just then. So, I think we'll go ahead and end there. Yeah, so, it was definitely flooded. Awesome. Q. Alright guys, so that's pretty much how you do a replacement. I see so many people throw these things away, and I would say like 90% of the time it's carburetor or a fuel line is the reason they threw this thing away. And I mean, this thing was built in 2009 and it still runs great. You can hear that it still runs really well. So I saw this in the trash. I am a self-admitted trash picker, but I picked this up because I needed one of these head units that you can put additional attachments on, because I have hedge I have hedge trimmers that I need to get on here, and I need to trim up a hedge out front so that I can get it ready for decorating for Christmas. So that was kind of my my drive to get this done. So anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. It is short, sweet, but again, we got the carburetor off of Amazon. The only thing we did to find that, let's show you that real quick. On these units, there's a sticker, and on that sticker is a model number, and then there's also here it says it was designed for 2009 emissions. So I'm assuming it was somewhere around 2009 that it was built. So there you go. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you see here, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber already, please consider doing so, as it does help the channel out greatly. Thank you to everyone who is a subscriber. I do appreciate it a lot. We've had a lot of great growth here on the channel, which I hope means you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. So guys, just remember, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. We'll see you here next time. Graybeard Garage. Until then guys, take care.